All right, so what do we learn this week about blue, black, slightly pirate-ish, tap out, control? I don't even know. Scarab God craziness, and the deck was awesome. I mean, we just crushed a competitive league. Absolutely, completely trashed it. It was not even a little bit close. We actually went 5-0 in our matches, but 10-1 in our games, and our only loss was in the pseudo mirror in round 3. So the only deck that even managed to take a game off of our deck was essentially our deck. So the deck just felt absolutely absurd. Like, it's hard to describe how good the deck felt. We played basically all the tier decks. Blue White Approach crushed it. Ramen on Bread crushed it. Sultai Energy crushed it. I guess we didn't play Teamer Energy, but for the most part, we played a wide range of the best decks in the standard format, and we just destroyed everyone. So the deck felt insanely good. I feel like there's actually really something here, and that this could actually be a pretty real deck in standard, which I'm super excited about. So, of course, we start off with the Scarab God, and you're probably wondering why we're in my Moto collection instead of looking at a deck list, and that's because we got these 16 treasure chests to open. I mean, we gotta reap the rewards of our treasure chests, which we will crack open in a minute after we talk about the deck real quick. So, Scarab God is insane. It is probably the single best card in standard. So I feel like standard is about how do you harness the power of Scarab God? How do you leverage your Scarab God? How well can you play Scarab God? And I feel like this deck actually leverages Scarab God better than any other deck in the format, which I think being the best Scarab God deck is a good vote towards being one of the better decks in standard. So why is this deck such a great Scarab God deck? And the answer is we got a lot of cards that just work really well with Scarab God. It looks counterintuitive, but Siren Storm Tamer and Kitescale Freebooter are great ways of protecting our Scarab God. So a lot of removal doesn't do anything to our Scarab God, but the removal that does, Settle the Wreckages, Cast Outs, Vraska's Contempt, Kitescale Freebooter can preemptively steal that from our opponent's hand to protect Scarab God, and Siren Storm Tamer is insane. It is so good. It fizzles essentially all the removal spells that would hit Scarab God, including Settle the Wreckage, and not to mention the fact that if we play these in the early game, they do two really big things. One is, in the late game, they come back as 4/4 flyers, which is great with the Scarab God. They are excellent in that sense, too. We sack our Storm Tamer to save our Scarab God, get it back as a 4/4 flyer to beat down our opponent and protect our Scarab God again. Kite Sail with Scarab God is super sweet because on our opponent's draw step, we can reanimate and catch the card that they drew for the turn. If they were hoping to draw into an approach or some sort of answer, we nab it on their draw step before they can cast it. So good synergies in the late game as well as protecting Scarab God in the early game. The other thing these cards do is they let us play Lookout Dispersal, which is powerful enough that it's worth playing Pirates in your deck. That's where I'm at with Pirates right now. I don't think you want to be Pirate Tribal. I think you want to play enough Pirates to take advantage of Lookout Dispersal, because when this is consistently a mana leak, it is incredibly powerful. It is the best counter spell we've had in Standard for a long time. So why we're not Pirate Tribal, we have the Storm Tamers, we have the Freebooters, and we have the Hostage Taker, which all turn on our Lookout's Dispersal, make it into a mana leak, which is great. Champion of Wits is also key with our Scarab God plan. It allows us to filter away fatal pushes against Blue-White Approach, where it's a dead card, dig into our good cards. So it really is kind of just the glue that holds it together. And then when we're getting it back with Scarab God, it's obviously insane. The removal package seemed to work really well. I think one change I might make would be to get rid of the Submerge Boneyards for Evolving Wilds to up the revolt count of our deck, basically. And Hostage Taker was incredibly impressive. It is very, very good. It is a tricky card to play. You can't just run it out there, it gets killed, it's not very good. But if you really work at it, this card is insane. We saw that in our last match against Ramen on Bread, where Hostage Taker stealing a Hazoret was just game over, with Siren Storm Tamers to protect it. Also, we can do some sweet tricks with our Champion of Wits, where we cast Hostage Taker to exile Champion of Wits, and then recast Champion of Wits to do more looting. We can also do this weird Wrath protection thing, where we can cover up one of our creatures and then get it back. The removal suite is super good. Vraska's Contempt is key, because, like I said, Standard is about leveraging your Scarab God, so we want to be the deck that not only can take best advantage of our Scarab God, but be able to deal with our opponent's Scarab God, and Vraska's Contempt is just the cleanest way to get rid of Scarab God forever. Noxious Gear Hulk seems fine as a one-of. It really depends on the meta. As I was going into this league, there were a lot of dinosaur decks that were performing really well on Magic Online, and Noxious Gear Hulk seems great against the dinosaur decks. Whether or not those decks really take off, we'll have to wait and see. If they're not big, and everyone's playing energy decks, everyone's playing Blue-White Approach, Noxious Gear Hulk gets a little less good, so we'll have to see if it's really worth the main deck slot or not. Could be a sideboard card. Trial of Ambition, Carnage Tyrant out, essentially. Walk the Plank, it's fine as a one-of. It does kill essentially everything since no one plays Merfolk. Sorcery Speed is annoying, so overall, I was just super impressed with the deck, apart from maybe dropping Noxious Gear Hulk, depending on what the meta looks like, and switching the Submerged Boneyards for Evolving Wilds. I would just run this main deck back in a league, no questions asked, we would go for it. As far as the sideboard, I think the sideboard is pretty solid. I didn't have any problems with it. Jace is a little questionable. I've had it be very good in control matchups, but I've had it not do anything as well. So we'll have to see. I think it's good enough in the sideboard as a one-of because it is really good in certain matchups. Doomfall is key. I almost want the 4th Doomfall. It is so good in so many matchups. It's a Scarab God answer from the hand and the battlefield. It's a hazard answer. It comes in against Blue-White Approach. So I think I want to find room somehow for the 4th Doomfall. Bantu's Last Reckoning, Necessary Evil to deal with Carnage Tyrants and so forth. Essence Extraction is the other sneaky key card. Being able to bring this in as one of our key removal spells, even if we just take out Walk the Planks and Trial of Ambitions against Ramen Bread, is a huge swing. Essence Extraction really swings that race in our favor. Duress is super important. So as far as changes in the sideboard, I think the only thing I would really be looking at is maybe finding room for some graveyard hate, like Crook of Condemnation, as another way to win the Scarab God battle, essentially. If we get down a Crook of Condemnation, we can just exile our opponent's Scarab God before it goes back to their hand. So that's one thing that I would consider. Maybe finding room for another copy of Vraska's Contempt in the sideboard, but I'm not really sure what we would cut. I don't know what we go down. I will say that even though we only have 2 negates and the 4 duresses, not even counting this league, but counting all the matches I've played with this deck, we're like 4-0 against Blue-White Approach. So we definitely have enough action to beat the control decks with this current configuration. So the question is, can we find a way to still beat the control decks while upping our matchup against opposing Scarab Gods, essentially? That's the only thing I'm really scared of. The only time we even came a little close to losing was when we were in Scarab God mirrors, and it's basically a battle of who gets their Scarab God down first and can leverage it with the most mana the best. So that's the one thing I want to make sure I have more answers to, because I am super impressed with the card in the deck. So overall, the deck was great. I mean, I don't even know what else to say. It was insane. I don't think there's much to change. I would not be surprised to see something very similar to this become a real deck in Standard. I feel like this deck has legs. The most impressive part of it is I feel like we have good matchups basically against the field. Like, there wasn't any matchups where I feel like we're in bad shape. We have Fatal Pushes and Gifted Etherborns for the Ramen on Bread matchup and other aggro matchups. We have a lot of good main deck control stuff with Freebooter and Siren Storm Tamer and the Scarab God. We have a bit of life gain with the Etherborn and the Noxious Gear Hulk. Lookhouse Dispersal is insane in just about any matchup. So I feel like we just kind of across the spectrum of matchups have a decent matchup. So I don't know. I'm super happy with the deck. I'm glad we played it this week. I'm glad we're exploring Ixalan, and I think the deck is awesome. So anyway, enough rambling about the deck. Let's get to the main feature. 16 treasure chests to open, and I'm a little nervous to open these because we have been running incredibly bad with treasure chests lately, but we're going to go for it anyway. You open your treasure chests if you get them. So I think right now, if we sold these treasure chests, they would be worth, I think they're 2.3 ticks or something like that. So basically like 36 ticks, something like that. So we're hoping to get 36 ticks of value out of these treasure chests. So 1 of 16, what do we get? Ooh. Oh. Okay. Batterskull Sneak Attack. Where does that put us in value? I think, did we win right off the bat? Did we finally get the good treasure chests? Oh my goodness. Okay, Batterskull. I'll probably try to add these prices in for you, like we do for box openings. Batterskull, New Phyrexia, coming in at, that's 17 ticks. Halfway to our goal with 1 card, and that's not even counting the Sneak Attack. How much is Sneak Attack? Sneak Attack. Eternal Masters. 6.64, so we got like 20-some ticks from chest 1. All right, we're off to a good start. Maybe we're going to get the insane treasure chest, too. Number 2, Sagu Mauler, Ether Herder, and Torment of Venom. All right, not much there, but we're already off to a good start. We don't got to get many more good cards to come out ahead from if we had sold them. Ooh, Promo Inferno Titan. That is a spicy Inferno Titan. Man, that art is sweet. I kind of want to keep this and play Green Red Ponza. How much is Promo Inferno Titan? Ooh, 5.86 ticks. That is getting us closer. We've almost equaled what we would get if we had sold them already. Oh my god! Oh my god, we're doing it. We're doing it. That's a Liliana the Veil. Oh my god! Liliana the Veil coming in at 76 ticks. Oh man, not only was this a great league, but we're getting good chests too. Jace Living Guild Pack, Vizier of Many Faces. Well, Living Guild Pack is like the worst of the Jaces, but another mythic. And we still got 11 to go. We're not even in the 10 final chests yet. And we have like 100 ticks of value. Oh, we're just crushing it. We're crushing it. Vorinclex, Voice of Hunger. Card that's really expensive in paper, but it's not really worth much on Magic Online, I don't think. About 2 ticks, so not horrible, but definitely not Liliana. We can't complain. I mean, we already are winning. Righteousness, Larger Than Life. All right, nothing in that one. 9 more to go. Oh my god, Liliana. And Batterskull. Imaginary Pet. Let's imagine that we didn't open that treasure chest. 8 to go. 8 to go. Come on. Something else good. Just to, like, finish off this insane league and these insane chests. All right, we're only halfway through, and we're already killing it. Oh, man, if the second half is like the first half, Adhikar Ways, is that worth anything? It is played in some weird Eldrazi decks. Adhikar Ways, what do we get? Nope. 0.69. All right, 7 to go. Come on. Something else good. I mean, we can't complain. We already super won. Leyline of the Meek. Fun for the Leyline deck. Some other jank. 6 to go. Almost to the final 5. Crucible of Fire. Ritual of Rejuvenation. All right, last 5. Can we find any more value? 30 play points. We'll take it. That's like $3. And commons and uncommons. 4 to go. Come on. Ambassador Sphinx. Out of all the mythics, 3 to go. Can we find any last bit of value? 30 more play points. Another $3. Last 2. Come on. Rishon Import. Black Lotus. Horizon Canopy. Oh my god. Horizon Canopy. Horizon Canopy. 20 ticks. It was as high as like 35, but still, I mean, 20 ticks. All right, last one. Come on, top it off, Moto, with something sweet in the last one. All right, some good against the odds cards. Enchanted Evening, super sweet against the odds cards. Death Presence. I don't think Enchanted Evening is worth anything, but I mean, we can't complain. I don't know what the exact prices are. I'll probably calculate them as we go along for the video. But, I mean, we got Liliana, we got Horizon Canopy, we got Batterskull, and we got Sneak Attack. I think just those cards is over 100 ticks. And remember, if we had just sold those treasure chests, we would have gotten about 36 ticks. So we crushed it. Our league crushed it. Our deck crushed it. Our treasure chest crushed it. It is a perfect league. I'm so happy. Anyway, everyone, that's our Much Brew for this week. Slightly piratey, Scarab God tap outy, blue-black awesomeness for standard. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.